Hello there! Today we will be looking at an introduction to fractions. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe and like this video. I promise you it will be very helpful. We will be covering what a fraction is and the different types of fractions. So, fractions are used to show the proportion of an amount. They show equal parts of a whole thing. If this doesn't make sense to you right now, don't worry, I'll go through it with you and then you will definitely understand. So there are two parts in a fraction. You have the numerator, the number at the top, and you have the denominator, which is at the bottom. So basically, the numerator tells you how many parts you are counting. For example, if I have 4 cakes and I'm giving 3 of them to my sister, then that means 3 out of 4 cakes I am giving to her. So 3/4 of my cake I am giving to my sister. So, as I was saying, a numerator shows how many parts you are counting. Whereas the denominator shows you the total number of parts. So, there's an example on the next slide to help you visualize this better. Here we have my cake. I am giving these 3 pieces to my sister. So that means that out of 4 pieces in total, I am giving 3 to my sister. So essentially, you could say I am giving her 3 out of 4 pieces. So this line basically means out of. So 3 out of 4 pieces. Now we call, when something is divided into fours, 1/4 is basically a quarter. So we say when you have 4 pieces in your denominator, we call it a quarter. However, for other numbers, like in 1/5, you would say a fifth. You wouldn't say a quintet, for example. All right? So 1/4, 3/4. So that means I'm giving her 3 out of my 4 pieces. These fractions are used to show you the proportion. So now let's look at this here. I am saying that 3/4 equals 6/8. Let me prove it to you. See, when I have 3/4 of the cake that I'm giving to my sister, that means 3 out of my 4 pieces. However, in this cake, I'm giving my sister 6 out of 8 pieces. So that means I'm giving her 6 out of 8, alright? However, you can see in these two images that both are the same. So, how does this work? Well, these 8 pieces are all equal pieces, alright? And each of these 8 pieces is 1/2 of one of these pieces. See, I'm splitting this one, so it's 1/2, meaning that essentially 3 of these big pieces is equal to, so 3 of these big pieces is equal to 6 of these small pieces. There is an easier way to convert between these fractions. You just have to make sure you times your numerator and your denominator by the same amount. Do you get this? There are 3 types of fractions. You have proper fractions, improper fractions, and mixed numbers. Pause the video for 5 seconds and see if you can recall what these fractions are. Alright, let's go. So let's start off with proper fractions. So in a proper fraction, the numerator is smaller than the denominator, meaning the denominator will always be bigger. As you might remember, your numerator is the number that goes at the top, and your denominator is the number that goes at the bottom. 2/5 is a proper fraction because the numerator is smaller than the denominator. Therefore, it is a proper fraction, as I've said. See, here's a quick quiz. Out of these numbers, which ones are proper fractions and which ones are not? Pause the video and have a go. Alright, let's go through this. So 4 is smaller than 6, therefore this is a proper fraction. 2 is smaller than 3, proper fraction. 3 is not smaller than 2. Dun dun dun, not a proper fraction. 1 is smaller than 2, so that is also a proper fraction. 3/2, also known as 3/2, is the only improper fraction. But wait, what is an improper fraction? An improper fraction is where the numerator is bigger than the denominator. I mean, you guys probably guessed it by now. So that means that instead of 2/5, which is a proper fraction, you would have something which is bigger than 5 at the top. So for example, you can have 7/5, which would be improper. That's all you need to know, really, to identify whether something's a proper or an improper fraction. You just need to see if the numerator is bigger or smaller than the denominator. If you have an improper fraction, you might just not like the look of it. Let's look at this one, 21 over 6. You might just not like it. That's okay. You know what you can do? You can convert it into a mixed number. So a mixed number has a whole number part, and it has a fraction, a proper fraction part. Let's take a look. So let's go back to this slide. We had 21 over 6 and 7 over 5. Let's convert both of these into mixed numbers. 7 over 5. Now, you first need to see how many whole numbers you have in this. So that means if I have a cake and I've divided it into, excuse the horrible drawing, guys, I'm really sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my cake. And this is another cake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretend that all the slices are equal. Anyways, so that means I have one full cake and 2 slices from another cake to give me 7/5. So I have 1 and 2/5 in total, and that would be my mixed number for 7/5. The other fraction we wanted to look at was 21 over 6. So let me write that down. Now, it would be a bit impractical to keep drawing cakes. Cakes are just there for your understanding. I mean, who doesn't love a beautiful, delicious chocolate cake? Or maybe you guys don't like chocolate. I don't know. Write your favorite types of cakes down in the comments and use them to motivate you to do these fractions. Anyways, so as I was saying, 21 over 6. Now, let's think. What's an easy way to find out how many whole number parts there are? Well, how about we try dividing? 21 divided by 6. So this is a very small number, so you wouldn't really use bus stop division for this. You can if you want to, but there's not honestly any point. So 21 divided by 6. So you have how many holes? You have 3, because 3 times 6 is equal to 18. So you have 3 holes, and then what's your remainder? Remainder 3. That is your answer to 21 divided by 6. So if you were to write this as a mixed number, you would have 3, the whole, so because you have 3 holes, and you would have 3 over 6. But wait, can you simplify that? You have 3 over 6. So let's just draw it out if you guys haven't simplified fractions before. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, 1, 2, 3. I've shaded in 3 slices of my cake. So that is equal to 3/6, which also is equal to 1/2. How do you get there? You divide both the numerator and the denominator by 3. So that means 3 and 3/6 is equal to 3 and 1/2. And that is your answer for what 21 over 6 becomes. I hope you enjoyed that introduction to fractions. I promise you more videos are coming soon, so stay tuned and I can't wait for you to find out more. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye!